Hello, everyone. My name is Yana, and I am a Google logistician. I handle delivering the target audience to businesses with the necessary parameters using Google advertising tools. And in today's video, I will tell you how to set up smart Performance Max campaigns in Google Ads on the PrestaShop platform from scratch, from start to finish. I will be discussing one of the most budget-friendly options you can have. We will do this step by step. I remind you that the timestamps will be at the bottom, and I think that most likely the segments will also be separate. Videos published for your convenience in finding the necessary information. So, what do we need to set up our Performance Max on PrestaShop? We need to go through 3 stages. The first stage is setting up the Merchant Center and passing its moderation. This is one of the longest stages, because just the verification of our store and products by Google will take approximately 72 hours. The second step is configuring analytics so that Performance Max can function properly. And the third step is creating the actual ad campaigns. All of this can essentially be done on the first day, and they can be performed in parallel. The only important thing is to wait until the moderation in the Merchant Center is completed before creating an ad account. I would still recommend you do it this way. Where will we start? We will start with the Merchant Center. Setting up the Merchant Center includes several stages. First, it involves creating the Merchant Center account itself. Second, it requires configuring the settings for your store, which is mandatory. Third, entering shipping information or, for example, entering tax information if you are launching in the United States. And fourth is adding products to our Merchant Center. That is, adding products to the Merchant Center. Oh, I almost forgot an important step: verifying site ownership. Now we will go through all these stages one by one. To create an account in the Merchant Center, you need to follow the link I will leave below. And we need to log in directly to our Gmail account, which you should already have. Mine looks a bit like this because I had several merchant centers under one email, but that doesn't really change anything. So, what do you need to do? Click Create a new merchant center. Next, enter all the information we are asked for. This is the stage of setting up our merchant center. Whether we sell products online, after this we take our link to our site, insert it. I do not have a physical store. I click Continue. Be sure to continue. You can check these boxes or leave them unchecked. It's up to you. Let's continue. Click Get Started, and we will go through almost all these stages. I will explain now. I won't dwell on them too much, because you will be setting them up directly on your end. To shorten the length of this video, I will skip them. What are we doing? Adding a business address. Click Add, and here you need to enter the address that is duplicated on your site, either in the footer or directly on the contact page. This address must match the one on your website. This is mandatory. The same applies. So we have now created a Merchant Center account. Next, we need to enter certain mandatory parameters that Google will request from us. As you can see, I have Google Merchant Center next, but you might just have Google Merchant Center. For now, the settings are just located in different blocks, different places, but in principle, there is no difference. In general, everyone will soon switch to Merchant Center next, so don't be alarmed if you still have an older version of the Merchant Center. What do we need to set up in this Merchant Center? Ideally, we should complete this block that is initially suggested to us. You set it up according to what is described on the site. If any information is missing, it is advisable to duplicate it. This is necessary in case you suddenly get blocked by Google Analytics, which can happen, and there's no way around it. Merchant Center is a separate service where our online store is moderated, and Google directly decides whether to allow us to advertise or not. Where do you start? You add the business address. There's nothing complicated about it. You enter it as it is, directly on the site, either in the footer, About Us, or Contact Us. There shouldn't be any difficulties here. You do the same with your phone number. It is also possible that this phone number appeared somewhere on the site. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. Sometimes, in some merchants, you are not required to enter a phone number at all. This is not an error. Just skip the step. Next, we need to verify ownership of our site. What does this mean? We need to indicate to Google that this merchant center directly belongs to us. This is a kind of security system to ensure that no one steals your site or that you're not directing traffic to someone else's site. So, what do we do for this? We take our domain name. You add it here. Next, we are offered a set of these things, and with their help, we can verify that this is our site. For Shop Express, the most optimal way is to add and upload the file, the simplest option. How is it done? You need to separately grant access to the FTP of your site. I will show you how it looks on my personal hosting. In your hosting, you might see it completely differently. It might look completely different. What's the point? We need to click on this link. A file like this will be downloaded. Next, we upload this HTML file to our FTP. This is mandatory to our FTP. It won't be too difficult. You can handle it, I'm sure. And after that, we click on this link. Because I have been pre-recording this video for some time, so everything might get approved immediately. Just upload the file to FTP. There's nothing complicated about it. Then you simply follow the link provided by Google, and that's it. Your site ownership is verified. You'll definitely figure it out. There's nothing difficult about it. Next, what do we need to add? It asks us to add shipping information. I would highly recommend filling it out right away. It is easy to complete. You need to choose the country where you want to deliver. I choose the United States. I click continue. It is important that all this information matches what you have on your site. I select the country. I click continue. Next, I choose whether I need to set this up for all products or for specific ones. Then, you can use some automatic integration system that will calculate everything right. Then you set it up manually. I will show you how to do it manually. How can this be done manually? Set the processing time. For our orders, for example, I process them until 8 in the evening. Set the time in. Then configure the handling time for your order. This is the time it takes for you to process the order, not deliver it. So if I process orders before 8 and all other orders after 8 in the evening, I process the next day and then I leave it as it is. Well, you leave the days as they are accordingly. And then delivery is the time it takes to actually deliver your products. So here I enter directly. Well, for example, for me, it takes 4 days. And I see that Google tells me the total time will be 1.5 days. If you want to edit it, you can do it differently. But make sure that all this information is duplicated on your website. Save it. Yes. Make sure the currency matches. What should the currency match with? First, with the currency of your feed. Second, with the currency of the country you are delivering to. This is essential, so pay attention to it. Next, all you need to do is set the shipping conditions. If we fill it out manually, it will be free shipping. You choose everything as you need. I won't dwell on this too much. Now we need to add the product directly to our merchant center. What do we need to do for this? Or go to our product items that we have. Or you can click on this gear icon and select Data Sources. Here we can click Add Product Source, and then we can upload products as follows. We can add automatic products that are taken from the structured data on the site. You can add them from a file. As we will do, you can add them from a Google document. That is, from Google Sheets, you can add products one by one, or you can add them via API. Since my implementation is done through a file, I will be implementing it through a file. How exactly will I be implementing it? I already have this module installed, and if you need it, it will be displayed approximately like this. Just wait a moment. If you need it, write to me, or you can find any alternative, paid or free yourself. I will show you how it looks for me. What do we absolutely need to do in this plugin? We need to fine-tune a specific set of attributes. Essentially, the settings. Let's move on. For example, the description. We have a short description method and a long one. Choose the one you have in your products in the product cards. It's all up to you. Shipping method look. I had selected price fix. I set up free shipping for Kyiv in the previous step. so you choose based on what you need. Next, the shipping country. I always specify the country where I will be delivering this. It automatically loaded UK for me here. I am changing it to US. This is important. Next, for shipping countries, I chose the United States. If you need to exclude anything here, you can add it. Next, select image type. Choose medium default. Select MPN. Please, I don't have product price. Then product gender feature. Here you can also select everything automatically. Now I will show you how these product cards can also be made. Since I have a store with clothing right away, you can immediately proceed here. Here you choose according to what you have. For example, I choose like this. Material property, I don't have. Patterns, size property, or composition, here as you need. Do you need to export a combination of certain attributes? Does this include that as well? Perhaps. I definitely include this. I included shipping dimensions for myself to show how they will look. For example, if you don't want to manually upload these products. With the non-branded, I also definitely want this attribute to be included if I don't have getIna MPN. I do not include out-of-stock products for export, but this is up to you. I need the quantity. I need the on-sale indication. I have included the route of the site. I don't need the prefix for now. Make sure to click Save and Export. I am getting a slight error here, but that's because the programmer is making adjustments, and then we will definitely need to correct the product category. I would completely delete it. Why? In order for Google to determine the product category correctly, you need to avoid making mistakes. These product categories should be identified by their numbers. So you download these files and look for these numbers, because this way you might get confused or enter them incorrectly. Therefore, I also recommend. Additionally, you can separately edit certain things for a specific product item. For example, the age. Group here will always be adult. For instance, for this product item, here, for example, I can select the size and click Update. The same can be done with other IDs. For example, here, close, it is incorrectly set and must be corrected. Here also, close categories as you can see. Next, update. The same can be done manually. Yes, it's cheap and cheerful, relatively speaking. Yes, see matching Google category, clothes, men, here a condition. You can set it, you can do it manually, you can do it for certain things. I am showing you an example of how to do this. You will implement it on your own. Next, make sure to edit the currency in this file so that it matches the shipping currency. Absolutely, do you need taxes? For example, I don't need them, and in the United States, taxes don't need to be included, but for certain other countries, they might be. Yes, I have all this information. Next, I definitely click on this link to check if everything is okay here. Next, I copy this link, go back to my Merchant Center, and paste the link I created here. Here you can edit the schedule for updating this information. And note that I have set the countries here. I don't need the United Kingdom, so I uncheck this box and save. You have chosen the language, and it should match the language you have. And even though we currently only have free listings available, pay attention to this because we haven't created any ad campaigns yet. Let's move on. So now our task is to wait for the system to start uploading the products. I will have about 19 products here, and here's an important detail to note. After we unload this, we definitely need to check the product cards to see if there are any additional issues with some attributes, because as you can see, there are only a few product positions. I corrected some information so you understand. I have 47 updated products here. So you can wait, they will be uploaded in a few minutes. Here I have 47 because I uploaded this feed several times. Soon, I will have products here. And what do I do next? I go to my products. They will all initially be unapproved. Now, they will start to be added. They will appear in our product tabs. If anything, we can go here to data source and check. Everything is still loading here. Google is a bit slow. 23 product items. Let's go to all products. They are there, but they are not displayed here yet. You need to wait, and they will appear soon. This is how my product card looks after some time. You can enter it and be sure to check it out here. You see, I have value tags here. They are missing for one simple reason, because I haven't separately configured these tags. I definitely need to configure them separately. We can do this a little later, as I am making this a universal video, so I am not sure if I need to show this to you here. Taxes can be included automatically here. We can go to Overview, Status, Sales Tax, and set them. Tax. Oh, Sales Tax and set. Change. I suggest we set everything to automatic. And in each state, all these states have different tax rates. That's why I'm showing you this. See, I already have 47 product items here. This is how they look. We adjusted the bids and taxes, they will disappear soon. And you see, it complains about the gender, which we need to set. We can do that a bit later. And look, invalid value, accept value. We can edit this right away. Gender. For example, I don't know. Unisex, let our t-shirt be apply. You can go through your product cards like this. And please note that this pending status will last quite a while, approximately 3 business days or 72 hours. So before we start looking for any errors, we first need to get approval from Google. This process takes up to 3 business days. So what have we done so far? We created the Merchant Center, verified site ownership, added a business address, added a phone number, and provided shipping information. You can add a return policy. I am not adding it for now, but it is advisable to add it in the future as it adds more points to your Merchant Center from Google's perspective. We set up the shipping because I had an EU country, and we added products that are currently under review. So, for now, our work with the Merchant Center is complete. Next, we will set up conversion goals, and after our Merchant Center is approved, we will link it to the created Google Ads account. After that, we will be able to run our ad campaigns. Here, for now, the entire campaign only offers the creation of this campaign. So let's move on to the next sections.